Welcome back to the second segment of Cairo Local Time. Today we're going to be talking about the means of maintaining a sustainable business and challenges facing business owners. And we're joined this afternoon by Dr. Nadia Shafie, a human resources expert. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Riham.
Thank you so much for coming. Can you tell us firstly, how can someone maintain a sustainable business?
Sustainable business, it's currently a strategy for any business should well taken care of, because without putting sustainability in our agenda, we will not be able to have a long-term existence. It is consisting of three pillars. Business should have long-lasting methodology, tools, mechanism for industry, for product,
yes,
which will be friendly with the environment. We have to take care of the environment, and also with an economic value added and taking care of the future generation.
yes.
Without putting sustainability, we will not be able to exist for a long term.
Okay, but what about small businesses? How can they when you start a small business, how can they try to maintain themselves and stay within the market?
This is very smart point, because for the entrepreneur, SMEs, sustainability, it is a bit tougher.
Yes.
Because of the resources, the fund, because of the time frame, because of human resources allocation. Yet they have to start knocking on the agenda of sustainability from environmental, from competitive edge, and this is the solution to allow them really sustain their business.
So what kind of challenges do business owners face right now?
Actually, the main challenge is the human resources. And it is not only in Egypt, it's worldwide. On the ground of the big macro organization,
yes,
to find the talented person and the willing, the committed, the engaged staff is something became quite tough. For this is one of the core. On the other hand, if you don't have the talented and the capability of the human resources and organization, we have a very big question mark of sustainability.
So other than talent, do you think that the number of people that graduate and join the job market are not necessarily compatible in terms of their qualifications with what the job market requires?
We don't see it from that. We have a very good, nowadays we have a highly educated generation, young potential generation. Yet the most important is the behavior.
Yes.
And the behavior which is loving your work, giving time, desire to improve,
yes,
engagement, commitment to the job. This is the behavior which nowadays it's challenges for SMEs, for corporations, for government,
yes,
for every type of a business.
But this is where human resources comes in.
Exactly.
They help in engaging the
yes.
employees. How can you do that? How can you keep the employee engaged?
Yeah. In the early, we were, during the Industrial Revolution,
yes,
we considered the human resources as a personnel,
yes,
and it is a head count.
yes,
Head count that we develop the organization, the structure,
yes,
upon a specialization.
yes,
So we hire the candidate and we give him the necessary training to tell him put on, off.
yes,
It is not anymore. We have shifted from touch worker to knowledge worker.
yes,
Knowledge worker, I need a person who can analyze, who can solve problem, who can take a decision. And from that, we have to develop new tools in order to deal with the human resources. And even in science, they start initiating that any effective human resources function cannot take over the shelf the tool and apply it to the organization.
Yes.
No, they have to do first homework mapping the human resources. They have to know where is the talent, how many person they like to work, what is they should do the bell curve, who is doing job right from first time, who likes do better job, who has his hand thumb. And then when I know the individual needs, and it is so many items, even personal requirement, what is their desire to go overseas, whether they are career oriented or a job oriented, function oriented. Yes. A lot of data nowadays, human resources, if you want really to activate human resources and organization, knock the door on the individual needs. Yes. Then, after knowing that with the scientific tools and putting in a system, which is HRIS system, because I have a lot of data. In order to interpret that data, I need to put it in a certain data bank in order to allow me taking the reports and the returns which I needed. Then link it with the organization needs. The organization needs here, what is my long-term vision? What is my short term? Yes. What is my culture? What type of a culture I want to be among my competitors? How can I work among competitors? What is my differentiation, competitive edge? Here, all this homework by the organization should be a measurement, a standard. Then link what I have, what the people they need with that, and start human resources initiative.
So it's not like in the past where we tried to find the cheapest components to produce a project and...
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And this is why we have a lot of challenges that people, they think that to apply human resources, I gave a budget of training. Apply human resources, I have done assessment. To staff, because it's fashion nowadays. Yes. No, it is not. The most important is to tailor the dress according to the needs of what you have, and this dress should be fulfilling the requirement of the organization. So this is customization.
I've also seen trends, and it's starting to catch on here in Egypt as well, where companies, especially bigger companies, provide a more comfortable environment for their employees, like game rooms or different seating positions and all of that. Does this actually help the employee become more engaged and more productive?
Yes, and this let us understand, because this is a fancy stories, and we use it as an example to criticize our current systems and etc. But these fancy stories, you cannot apply it until unless you have put your hands on the talent.
Yes.
Then when you have the talent and understanding their needs, provide them the luxurious and the comfort environment to allow them what? To allow them innovating, make a creation, give a new idea, be more engaged with the customers and etc. So it is win-win situation.
Yes.
I make you comfortable in order to utilize your talent. Not only utilize, leverage your talent. When you reach to a certain distance, I leverage you more and more, so you will be in a higher accomplishment stage and so on, and it is ongoing. But when we hear Google, they have their gem in their organization. They provide meditation sessions, and they provide facilities to have your snacks and etc. All of that, it is because they are doing better. They are sustaining the business.
Yes.
But don't ask for that, and you have never even reached to that you are doing your job right from first time. We have to underline. I cannot ask such atmosphere and environment, and my productivity level has not reached the standard.
Yes.
It's not fair. For this is the message which we really would love to emphasize, that first I need to reach productivity standard, and then I ask for the leveraging the environment, and accordingly I'll be more happy, so I'll give more,
Yes.
and you will utilize my talent.
You spoke about innovation and creation. What's the difference between the two?
Okay, innovation, you have an idea,
Yes.
and you have come to the stage converting the idea to action, to implementation.
Yes.
I like very much what has been nowadays in the
Yes.
social media,
Yes.
that China has invented, a poll for people whom they are performing wudu.
Yes.
That in order for the elderly people, in
Yes.
order not to put yourself on risk,
Yes.
and make a certain movement, so they make a tap down level
Yes.
of the palm in order to
Help with this
yes,
process.
allow you. But this is an idea. It has been converted to action, and this is innovation. Creation, it's an idea, and you are collecting that idea, not yet coming to an action.
Yes. What about, can you tell us a bit about the difference when it comes to training an employee and developing their capabilities?
We are talking about sustainability. And in order to complete the circle of sustainability, you need really, we said that in order to be sustained, I need human resources.
Yes.
I need to utilize the talent. I need to map my people. I need to understand their needs. Then one of the needs is training and development.
Yes.
When you map your people, there are some people, I need them for my organization. I need them for the society. But they are not ready to think above the job requirement.
Yes.
So give them the training, give them the basic needs to allow them doing their job right.
Yes.
And this is the training. It's an event, and this is an event to give you a certain knowledge and the skills to current situation.
Yes.
But development, it is a process, and it is a long-lasting process. And this is one of the criteria to make you a brand employee of choice,
Yes.
employer of choice. Development, I should know your needs.
Yes.
I should know your career planning, and I should know your talent, and then ask Mr. Manager to act a different role, to
Yes.
be a coach,
Yes.
to love your employees, right? And please keep on an eye on teaching him and giving him opportunity to expand his capability. And this is the development, learning by doing, leveraging, giving the staff a bigger chair in order to allow him doing homework until he will sit and settle, and then you will find the innovation
Yes.
and the creation.
Do you think that the future is going to be different? I mean, because of COVID, obviously, a lot of companies have started using online tools and working from home. Do you think that the workplace will be different in the future? Will it still be offices, or are people more likely to be working from home?
Very nice. And I have just gone through a research from Institute of Director UK, and they made a survey about the impact of working at home due to COVID pandemic. And the result is that it has reduced productivity tremendously,
Yes.
so 45%.
Yes.
Imagine. And they make a comparison between two groups. One is working at home and one is enjoying the environment, enjoying the challenge among colleagues,
Yes.
enjoying the communication, the networking. So I don't think that we should encourage continuing the working at home. We hope that we find, we get rid of the pandemic and return back to normal environment.
But what I've also noticed is not just online working, but some businesses have deferred their employees to workspaces rather than renting out their own workspaces as a way of cost cutting. Do you think this is something that could be in Egypt happening, whereby offices, companies won't provide offices, but if you want to work in an office, just go rent a desk at a workspace?
Yeah, it is happening now in the EUC. There is an incubator for the small, medium size, for the startup business. It is already, and even Ministry of Trade and Commerce, they in Upper Egypt and different regions, they are giving the incubator to allow them place desk. And this is, in life there is nothing right, nothing wrong. It depends. Working from home, business using the technology in order to reduce the expenses of the big offices and assets and etc. Yes, it depends. It could be a solution for certain type of industry and for certain type of legal entity. Why not? And we have seen it very successfully. So we have to open our eyes to different tools. The most important is to build your business on sustainable ground.
Yes.
And bear in mind that your human resources are the major assets and capital in order to make competitive edge among your competitors. Use the different facilities.
So your final words are basically that to get an edge within the market itself is to build on human capabilities.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, unfortunately, we're out of time for this episode of Cairo Local Time, but thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Nadia Shafie, a human resources expert. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Reham.
Thank you so much. This brings us to the end of this episode of Cairo Local Time, but stay tuned for more updates on Nile TV.